bluebells had petals and opened up even more, this would be them. Hi everyone, I'm Catherine, the artist behind Bigelow Fine Arts. I'm continuing my journey through the Enchanted Forest, following the trail and enjoying fresh raspberries as I seek the mystery that awaits in the castle at the center of the forest. I spy two cute long-tailed oven birds watching me as I enjoy the berries. More background because at some point, once you start, you have to finish. So I am working up just a little more above the vine before moving on to the next part of the page. I put down a base layer of cobalt blue and I blend in sky blue on top to make for a smoother finish, and that is more background. If this is your first time here, welcome! Otherwise, welcome back! This video is part of a series, but feel free to jump in right here. Each video works up one part of the page, so grab your colors and come color these flowers and leaves with me. I have the playlist linked above in the cards so you can catch the rest of it. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button so you can catch the rest of the color along. Leaves first, only because I have been trying, and failing, to keep working my way down and across the page, so I won't be rubbing my hand over already colored parts. I come in with a base layer of grass green over these pillow leaves, just the interior window parts. And while I have the color in hand, I also go and add color to the grass and the smaller leaves on the vine with the other flowers. If you remember back a few videos, I talked about working up one leaf to get a feel for the colors. Well, I only do that when I am working out a new color palette I haven't tried before. This palette I have worked up before, and so I know what colors I want and where to put them. This makes it easier to breeze through a section. And the same would go for any of the colors I have already established for this page, like the burning leaves or the red leaves. I do have the palettes available for free on Patreon as little PNG downloadables if you think this might be helpful for your own future coloring. On to the next color, which is pine green, and I find that I work up a light for a base and then a dark to block shadows, followed by my mid to blend. At that point, I repeat to build up the color and contrast. Now that you know my secret, you will not be able to unsee it. I put the pine green at the top and bottom of each window section. I did miss two of them, so just go ahead and work them up now instead of later. I also add in the pine green to the bottom of each blade of grass. Leaf green is my mid-tone for the grass, and I use that to blend the pine green into the grass green partway up the blades of grass. I come back with the pine green and fill in the stem. A sharp pencil is best for this part. My mid-tone for the pillow leaves is permanent green, and I use it the same as I did the leaf green. I blend the pine green into the grass green. I want to leave the center of each pillow only filled with grass green to keep it looking bright. And here is where I notice the two missing pillow shadows, so I fill them in quick and get back to the permanent green and blending. I also blend the grass and the vine. To darken my shadows a little more, I come in with chrome oxide green and add in a little at the darkest part of the shadows, which is generally closest to the line art. I do that for everything, both the top and bottom of each pillow, the base of each blade of grass, the bottom of each inside section of leaf, and the bottom round where the vine attaches to the flower. I come in with light green and blend out all of the green I have already put down. This not only gives me a nice smooth color, but it also gives me an extra layer over the middle of each pillow without darkening it too much, which would require going back in and darkening up the shadows again. I then add in a very light layer of green to the outline of the pillow leaves and the leaves on the vine. A very light layer. I blend in cadmium yellow lemon over that very light green to fill in the outlines and finish off the leaves. Now onto the flowers, and I wanted them to match with the bluebells. I started them off with a base layer of ultramarine. There was something about the flowers that just reminded me of the bluebells. Maybe it was the hanging shape or the small circles inside each petal, but I am going with it. I block in shadows with Enchanted blue, adding them under the circle, at the bottom of each petal, and on the side where there is an overlapping petal. I blend in cobalt blue greenish on top, but I leave the center light for now, just like I left the center of the pillow leaf lighter. It gives a nice effect where that part is catching the light, like the petal is bowing out then in again. I add in a touch of dark indigo to the edges, being mindful to not go overboard as this isn't quite from the same color family as the other blues I am using. I blend in more ultramarine, again keeping the layer in the middle light, but adding in more to the darker areas to help blend in the colors a little better. I give the middle a blend with ivory to smooth out the color and add in another layer. Now I want to bring in sepia and really work up the contrast. I blend in just a touch more ultramarine at the edges of where I place the sepia, and that is done. Now it is time to work up the other side of the page to make them look the same. The next video will be the last one, but will contain the rest of the background, so if you want some homework, this background is calling your name. I have the page so far at the end, so stay tuned for that. We are so close to finishing. Thanks for joining me today on this adventure into the Enchanted Forest. Let me know below or on social media if you colored along. I'd love to know how your flowers and leaves turned out. I want to thank you all so much for coming along and joining in with me on this coloring journey. I appreciate all my subscribers and look forward to more of you joining in and coloring along with me. Please like, share, and subscribe to help that happen. Until next time, happy coloring.